Right, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai. All praise unto Yahweh Shemi Al Shai Bashim Kakadash. Double honors unto the apostles, a great millstone, and honest you brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. So there's going to be a video. I'm going to call this video gang culture, and without much further ado, I'm just gonna go from that. So the premise of this video pretty much was heavily pushed upon you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans. Okay, is this thing of gang culture. Okay, pretty much from a young age, you're told to be physically strong and emotionally dependent from to the women around you as a man. Okay, and that's what's heavily pushed upon you, and ultimately that comes from the Willie Lynch letter, which I got prepared with in the background. But when you look at this thing of gang culture, all right, what do you see? Most of the time, mostly here, okay, even the cities that they name, okay, LA, okay, I don't know if that's Cape Town or Cape, I'm not quite sure what that is, New York. Those are that's with reference to who? As far as I can tell, is that the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans. This is a flat search. Okay, there's no addition to this search. I've just put gang culture, and I've merely gone to the images page, and you can see it's predominantly, not entirely, but predominantly dealing with Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans. Okay, now the rest of the stuff. I usually do these videos on flight mode so I don't get distracted. Let's turn that off for a quick second, and I have this load up so I can make my point. Okay, so I can make my point. Okay, that's fine. Let's go back to flight mode so I don't get distracted whilst I'm doing the video. But pretty much what you can see here is, okay, is you got the odd, okay, so-called white man there, but predominantly it's Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, because you've been living through a culture given to you by your enemies. Okay, given to you by your enemy, your main enemy, which is the so-called white man. Okay, the red Hebrew Edomites, man. Okay, but really, when you understand what a culture is, and I could go into the scriptures off of that. When you understand what our culture really was supposed to be about, all right, we were supposed to be a standard, okay, a nation of kings and priests, okay, unto the rest of the nations within the world. So let's go to the book of Jeremiah 17, Jeremiah 17 and 4. We start there and then I'll bounce around. So Jeremiah 17 and 4, it says, "And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I'll cause thee to serve thine enemies in a land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled the fire within my heart, which I burn forever." And that's clear cut and simple, man. All right. The Lord has made us to where we was going to discontinue from our heritage. Our heritage, when you go into this word, our possession, property, inheritance, all right, property, portion. Let's go to the word portion. All right, Jacob, and now put portion. And the portion of Jacob is not like the rest of the people, man. Jeremiah 10 and 16. The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and he is the rod of the inheritance. The Lord of the hosts is his name. All right, so the Lord set us up to be a standard within the earth, and our portion was supposed to be our inheritance, was supposed to be that of a greater culture than the rest of the people that are on the face of the planet. And now we've become a byword and a reproach amongst the heathen. All right, they call us all kinds of names, but the one thing that encompasses all, if not all, especially all, one derogatory term which encompasses all, if not most, if not all, Israelites, all right, is this thing of gang culture. And that's the thing that Jake, even when Jake comes into this truth, that's the thing that they hold in high esteem, when in actuality, this ain't what the men of the Lord was about, as far as I understand it. Now, you had people that were actual, they had what you would call a rough spirit. They might be rough around the edges, so to speak. But the thing of a gang culture, that's the thing that's been given to you by the so-called white man. Okay? Like I said, so people don't get it confused. You had the tender and delicate men amongst Israel, and you also had the warriors amongst Israel. But all of them had the same thing in commonality, in that what? That our culture was that based off of the scriptures. This thing of murdering, robbing, raping. What else did it? I mean, raping. I said raping. See, that's Satan. I nearly got caught out there, because when you do go into the scriptures, right, there is instances where rape occurred. The example that comes to mind, the daughters of Shiloh, that comes to mind. All right, and it wasn't prohibited. There was just not necessarily a penalty, but rather more a transaction that happened, right, in the occasion of a rape happening. You go to the different Bible scholars, they'll tell you the same thing. But continuing, the culture that's been given to you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans is that of a dark culture that is in the same is a similitude to the name that you give yourself, which is black. Okay, darkness, devoid of light. Right? This is black culture right here. But when we come into the white culture, which really, if you want to get technical, we're the real white people. Because the Messiah said that what? He was going to anoint us, okay, with his knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, right? With which that knowledge was going to make us pure. You go into the book of Ezekiel, you find out the Lord was going to purify the children of Israel, the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, all the children of Israel that are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. He was going to sanctify us and cleanse us, and he was going to give us a heart of flesh. That's going to make us the white people within the earth. If you go into the book of Revelations, the true white people, because white means what? Enlightened, all right, pure. Okay, now people have got it to where it seems what? It seems as if to say the word white means skin color, which there is no such thing as a black person within the earth, because there's no person's skin that is black. You got different shades of red going into the color brown, man. And that's the entirety, and that encompasses the entirety of the population of the earth. Colors going from a shade of red all the way up to brown. And Esau is a shade of red. And that goes into the book of Genesis, the 25th chapter. And that was the heritage that was given unto him, where the Messiah set a mark upon him. And he was going to rise up and rule the world. And he was going to give the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, this black culture, this gang culture, a culture devoid of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Now let's go into the book of, the Willie Lynch. All right. And this is the process that they had, all right, for creating you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans. All right, so the process, and predominantly this was dealing with Judah, because Judah was going through the hardcore slavery. But this has been what? This has been used to control all the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans that are out there throughout the four corners of the earth. Because when they push that vibration through the TV and through the music, it's going to hit all of them Israelites that are out there. Because guess what? Jake likes that music, and in liking that music, they're gonna get attached to particular things. Excuse me. Within the music, right? When music is supposed to be a medium of reverencing the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shem Shai. Okay, so breaking the process of the African woman, that should really say Israelite woman. It says, take the females and run a series of tests on her to see if she's willing to submit to your desires willingly. And that's what's happened to you Negroes, Hispanic, and Native American women. You ain't fulfilling they say, oh, no man can, be above me, and no man is equal above me. Yeah, but you're talking about the men of your own culture. Okay, when you see the feminism that happened and the trick that they pulled, and you see how these different women that are feminists act, okay, and the ideology that they had when they first initiated this thing, this was a thing of white women getting back at their so-called white men. Now, when it filtered out into you Negroes, Hispanics, Native American women, of which there was no gripe between the Negro, Hispanic, Native American woman and the man, but Esau used the feminism thing to destroy the whole family structure. Okay, now you got it to where you like I was saying, they'll say, oh, the no man is equal to me, but the state is. Okay, the state is not only equal to you, it's above you. And when things go wrong, what do these women go back to? They go back to the state, man. See, the state is that man. Who is the state? It's the man, okay, Esau. Okay, which goes to show you all of that feminism nonsense is nothing but BS, man. Okay, if you didn't have these state-run programs paid through through tax dollars, then you wouldn't have none of these nonsense, man. And guess what? When the state breaks down, the different governments are destroyed by way of the World War III, then you're gonna see a man's value increase exponentially, man. Because you're gonna realize that these women are gonna realize that hold on a minute, I actually need a protector. And that's why that's where the scripture within the book of Isaiah 4:1 was gonna be fulfilled. That's why that's where it's gonna be fulfilled. When you ain't got the man, okay, back in the ideas of these different women, and they realize, well, actually, no, I'm actually just a woman. But that's a different story for a different day. So going back onto the Willie Lynch letter for the purposes of this video dealing with the gang culture, the black culture. All right. It says, test her in every way because she is the most important factor for good economics. Because the black woman, the Negro, Hispanic, and Native American women, if you play the game just right, you create a better product each time. That is to say, what they want, the product that they want is little Negro, Hispanic, and Native American boys that are devoid of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And if you can make it, if every iteration of those Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans is more towards that purpose, that's even better. And that's what they've created when they've used the media, okay, and they've used the music and the gang culture to mold you Negro, Hispanic, and Native American women into this what they're calling the breaking process of the African woman, which that's been used on the Israelite, all the Israelite women, right? And it says if she shows any sign of resistance in submitting completely to your will, do not hesitate to use the bullwhip, right, on her to exact the last bit of resistance out of her. And that happened during slavery times, okay, and many other ways that they might have done that. All right, take care not to kill her, for in doing so you spoil good economics. When in complete submission, she will, and this is the important bit, okay? And this is where the thug culture comes into play, because ultimately these women, okay, they get down with these thugs, okay, and they breed more thugs, man. But they breed thugs that are more molded and more ready and willing to submit to who? To Esau, but they'll kill their own people. Going to fulfill what the scripture says, that what? Ye are of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. Because ultimately, he is likened unto your father. Because he is a product of what? He's the product. Them children of these ghetto ass women be having, of which you brothers, especially if you're single, man, you should be looking at. You should be looking to have a higher quality, okay, of a woman, man. Okay, you should be looking to have a higher quality of a woman. I believe one of the elders has said that. All right, if you're a single and you're in the market, you got the feeling. All right, then you're really in the best position, because you don't have to deal with these ghetto ass women, man. You can pick exactly what you want because you have the knowledge and wisdom, understanding to pick exactly what you want. But moving on, it says that what? Sorry, I was making the analogy, right? So Esau is basically, he's the father of these monkeys, man, because they're a product of his mind. Okay, they're a product of his mind. He wanted to create gang culture. So him and just like how he had it within the garden, right, as illustrated within the book of Genesis, the 3rd chapter, you had a situation with the serpent and the woman. They made a pact. Well, they made a pact again this time, and they're breeding forth and bringing to fruition, or rather more, bringing to this earth these different Negro men, Hispanic men, all right, that are weak in the mind but strong in the physical, man. And that's really the essence of black culture. And that all comes back, emanates from this passage, these passages that we're reading here within the Willie Lynch letter. How that they was gonna be physically strong. Okay, they're gonna have, they can run a riot. But when it comes to being mentally strong, okay, especially when it comes to being mentally strong within this truth, a lot of guys don't have that, man. See, that's the thing that people don't realize. You can have a guy that's so-called tender and delicate, man. Okay, hey, when you see, I'm not gonna make that example, but some people should come to mind that have made long stints within this truth, that you can clearly see that they're not of that gang persuasion, so to speak, man. Okay, they're just tender and delicate men. But guess what? the Most High blessed them with that strong mind, man. Okay, and that's what you want. You don't want strength of physique. Okay, strength of physique is gonna be arbitrary when we come into the time of Jacob's trouble. But what you want is a strong mind. And if you the Most High, if you feel like you don't have a strong mind, you better pray to the Most High give you a strong mind. And what I mean by a strong mind, you gotta have a strong spirit, a strong stomach. Okay, to stomach what's gonna happen within the future, man. The time of Jacob's trouble ain't gonna be no joke. But what you gonna see with these thug life individuals, man, you're gonna see the makeup of their mind. To quickly quote the scripture, the book of Isaiah, the 13th chapter says that what? It says that is Isaiah the 13th chapter. Basically, these missiles and the different events that's gonna happen is gonna make it to where a man's heart, which when you go into that word heart, is la'ab, meaning mind, it's gonna break down, man. They're gonna see what's happening out here, and their mind is gonna break down, man. Okay, but if you're of the persuasion of a strong mind, you're gonna be right. All right. So to quickly finish off this paragraph, I'm seeming to make longer and longer videos. My apologies. Okay, but to finish off the video, over on the passage. Okay, it says, when she is in complete submission, she will train her offspring in the early years to submit to labor when they become of age. That's it, man. Whether it be through the prison system or whatever, these niggas come out like they coming out on a conveyor belt. They ain't doing nothing new, man. Okay, the newest thing that's within the earth right now is this thing of Israel. But guess what? Esau infiltrated that through that. All right, and he's got camps like ISUPK. They're talking about how to be a gangster within this truth. And that's nothing but the devil's work, man. Okay, that gang culture, black culture type mentality, that's coming from our enemies, the devil. He was blessed with the sword, and he's using that sword, and he's tricking you with that sword to think that you can feel strong too with the sword. All right, but that's not your blessing. Your blessing was that what? You are the children of the living power, man. Understanding is the best thing. Therefore, we shall go deeper into this area. So subject matters concerning what we have produced here in this breaking process of the female nigger. Right, we have reserved the relationship in her natural, uncivilized state. She would be a strong. She would have a strong dependency on the uncivilized nigger male. Right, and that's what they have, man. That's what it is bad. I mean, a dude that's a Jake. All right, that's so-called educated, coming from a good family. Okay, living in the suburbs somewhere, speaking correct should be a hot commodity amongst the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans. But for the vast majority of the time, you see them dealing with what? You see them dealing with white women or women of the other nation because what? Because niggas the value system within the so-called Negro, Hispanic, Native American community is totally messed up, man. Okay, what Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, what they value is what? They value mediocrity. Okay, they value physical strength and not that of mental strength and subsequently spiritual strength. Okay, it's continuing. It says, right, and she would have a limited protective tendency towards her independent male offspring and will raise male offspring to be dependent like her. And ain't that some shit? Okay, and this was written a long time ago, but can you see how it's even more, okay, telling of the times that we're living in right now? Nature had provided for this type of balance. We reverse nature by burning and pulling a civilized nigger apart and bullwhipping the others to the point of death. Oof. You see what it's saying there, man? Okay, they reversed nature. Okay, that's what they've literally done. You can see this is the Willie Lynch that I've written a long time ago, man. They put this thing into works and they reversed what nature is and made it to where what the children. That's why you hear the songs, oh mama, 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 which is supposed to not reverence your mother. You're supposed to respect your mother. Okay, like Yahweh Shai said, okay, when he was, about to, leave the earth, he said, what? Take care of my mother. So you're supposed to take care of your mother, but guess what? You ain't supposed to be dependent like how Esau made it out to where you're dependent, man. Okay, where these dudes are practically worshiping their mother, man. Okay, all she did was spread her legs. Okay, I ain't gonna say that. I'll get in trouble for that one. All that brother said. But continuing, it says that, I was just being facetious. But the point I'm making is the Most High gave you the life, man. Okay? The Most High gave her life, man. God damn. Continuing, it says nurture provided. So nurture provided this type of balance. We've reversed it by burning, and pulling a civilized nigga apart and bull whipping the other ones to the point of death. All in her presence, by her being left state to a frozen independent state. In this frozen psychological state of independence, the independent women. She will raise her male and female offspring in reversed roles. Okay? And this is the point, man. Lord's will people watch this video because they some hot fire here, man. Okay, for fear of young male's life, she will psychologically train him to be mentally weak and dependent, but physically strong. Okay, gang culture. For fear of the young male's life, she will physically train him to be mentally weak and dependent, but physically strong. That's why you see all of these niggas, they're all big and buff and all of that. Okay, I don't know if that word is what's the in word right now? Butch. Okay, they're all big and muscular. Okay, but they ain't nothing. The lights are on, but no one's at home, man. Okay, let's read that again to close out the video. For fear of the young male life, she will psychologically train him to be mentally weak and dependent, but physically strong. And this is what you're seeing right here. Okay, these are individuals. Oh man. Okay, these are individuals. Let's go back to the image. Hopefully, fucking hell. And it's gonna be fucking. If I turn it back to fucking off flight mode, there'll be all kind of messages there in it to distract the video. I'll keep it as it is. But when you see this gang culture, whatever, right? I would have had the images, but saying, okay. When you see gang culture is nothing but what? Nothing but men that are physically strong. I mean, they'll bench. I've seen dudes bench some ridiculous things, man. But this dude was one of the most mentally weak individuals I've ever seen in my entire life, man. Okay, so hey, man, ain't that some shit? With that, I'm gonna say all praise unto Yahweh Shimi Ashai Bashim Kakadash, double honors unto the apostles, a great millstone. Honestly, brothers, that be pushing this truth in sincerity and Lord's will. I'll see you on the next one. Shalom.